least we've been here and done it now, so we'll be more prepared next year.
You can be very proud of them this afternoon, can't you?
Oh yeah. It was only always going to be one goal was going to win it, and we were sleeping a little bit. We had a couple of chances early on, we could have won it. That wasn't big. Very proud of the lads. They've had a magnificent season. I hope they look back on it. They played at Wembley now, and it was brilliant for them.
See the Darlington players troop off despondently. All those Plymouth fans celebrate.
So disappointment for Darlington. It wasn't to be their day, but Jim Platt and his team can look back with pride at their achievements this season. A Wembley final, and so close to promotion. From everyone on the Tyne Tees Match Wembley special, goodbye.
Football Club played their first ever match at Wembley on Saturday, but defeat in the third division playoff final means that they'll be staying in Division 3 next season. Ian Payne joined the Quakers on their big day at the Twin Towers.
Wembley, Wembley. A special day for Darlington's players and their fans. The coast journey to Wembley was just the start of a memorable occasion. Young and old were there to cheer on Jim Platt's side, with around 12,000 Darlington supporters making the trip to the home of English football. Victory against Plymouth would give them promotion. The Quakers so nearly took the lead.
A great run and a good ball in there. And Blake into the middle and Appleby. Oh, so close. Jim Platt thought that was it.
Into the second half though, and a single goal was enough to take Plymouth up into the second division. Ronnie Morget's header was the cue for the West Country Pilgrims to start their celebrations. Even in the final minutes, Darlington pushed for the equaliser, but Steve Gaughan's cross was just too high for Robbie Painter, and Plymouth were the Wembley winners.
Of course, with genuine ambition and the means to push on again. There's the trophy for more than 30,000 Devon supporters. It's Plymouth Argyle who get promotion.
So a long journey home for Darlington and their supporters, applauding each other at the end.
The away fans for us have been brilliant all season, and we've certainly came out today and absolutely, I think the lads have been a credit to the club really, the way they played the football, and a bit unfortunate today, but that's football. That wasn't big. Very proud of the lads. They've had a magnificent season. I hope they look back on it. They played at Wembley now, and it was brilliant for them.
Well, on to sport now. Darlington's players are enjoying a civic reception tonight after narrowly missing out on promotion. The club lost 1-0 to Plymouth Argyle at Wembley, meaning they'll stay in Division 3. Jim Knight is in the town.
Yes, as you can see, Mike, I'm here in the Dolphin Centre in Darlington, where behind me now the players have gathered to meet all the fans who are all asking and begging in some cases for autographs. It seems despite the weekend's disappointment, the people of Darlington are determined to celebrate the achievements of the season. Well, these were some of the pictures that we recorded just a few minutes ago. As you can see, the open-top bus travelling around the town there. People lining the sides of the streets, waving banners. And this is the civic reception outside, looking down as they come near the civic centre. And look at that. You wouldn't believe they'd lost, would you? These are some of the players on the balconies. They were all introduced separately, one by one, and seem to be thoroughly enjoying themselves. Well, with me now, just now, is Jim Platt, the manager of Darlington. Tell me, Jim, some people are saying, is this really a celebration? Can you celebrate a defeat?
Not really. It's actually a little bit embarrassing because we didn't win. But it's nice for the fans. They had a good day out at Wembley. Most of them have never been there before, so I hope they had a good day. Unfortunately, we didn't win. Maybe we can do it again sometime.
How did it feel to see them all out there chanting and singing, even though you'd lost?
Very nice. I'm sure that I know the players appreciate it. As I say, it's a little bit embarrassing because we didn't win and we have achieved nothing really.
What about next season? A lot of people are saying, can you go on and perhaps actually achieve the promotion that everybody hoped for?
Yeah, I think so. We know we can nearly do it now, so if we have a good start next season, then I'm sure we can go ahead and do it.
And just finally, what would you say to all the fans that have turned out tonight, Jim?
Turn out in the thousands next year, come and watch us, and hopefully we'll have bigger crowds and we can keep our better players.
And next season we can do it?
Absolutely.
Because they're all listening, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll do it. They've been very good tonight and they've turned out in their thousands. It's nice to see them.
OK, well...
Top scoring match in Division 3 was at Boothbury Park, and it's had an explosive start, typical of the fair to come. Hull's defence got in a tangle, and Michael Oliver's pass was converted by Darlington's Robbie Blake, just 2 minutes into the season. Not all the mistakes were made at one end. Darlington, Wembley debutants, after a mere 113 years in May, started to take liberties in defence. Sean Gregan was dispossessed and was well and truly punished by Dwayne Darby's well-placed strike. Darby, signed late last season from Doncaster, was to prove the hero of the day. After a move involving Gilbert and Neil Mann, he executed the perfect lob. Hull led for the first time. It looked as if the Quakers would still get away with a point, though, when Darren Roberts, looking for support, found he didn't need any. Maybe Hull's luck is changing, though, and for the better. There were only seconds left when they launched a final assault. And when the ball finally reached him, Darby wasted no time in completing a glorious hat-trick.
Darlington take a 1-0 lead into the second leg of their tie against Rotherham. Robbie Blake's second goal of the season separates the sides. It came after just 90 seconds at Feetham's. Jim Platt's team might have increased their lead, but Rotherham had the chance of an away goal after Quakers keeper Paul Newell handled this back pass. Andy Roscoe's free kick, though, came back off the crossbar, and Darlington's defence cleared the danger. Darlington will be happy with a 1-goal advantage over second division opponents.
Mixed fortunes for the Welsh clubs. Cardiff beat Brighton 1-0, but Swansea got a pasting at Darlington. Brian Atkinson set up the day's first goal for Darren Roberts, a second league goal for him since the summer move from Chesterfield. And that really seemed to inspire Darlington to even greater things, even if the second was credited to Swansea defender Mark Claude. Robbie Blake instrumental in Darlington's improvement, the one to induce the error. Early in the second half, Darlington's ability to carve open the right side of the Swansea defence left players queuing up to score. The ball eventually came to Roberts, who accepted his chance at the second attempt. And it was a similar scenario when Darlington made it 4-0 with 24 minutes still to play. This time Michael Oliver, the one left to claim his first league goal. Jan Molby's inherited a few problems at the Vetch. All they had to show for Saturday's long journey, a consolation for Linton.
Finally, Darlington took an early lead against Colchester. Darren Roberts went to ground trying to round the keeper. Brian Atkinson took responsibility for the penalty kick. His first goal for the club, though, wasn't enough for all 3 points. 1 each was the final score at Feetham's.
You are 19 in Lee's case, 35 in Kerry Dixon's case. And the former England striker, now Doncaster's player-manager, still knows the way to goal, as Darlington discovered in just 4 minutes. Darlington, beaten in the playoffs in May, are an entertaining side, and they were back in it quickly. Michael Oliver curling in a beauty. But Darlington are letting in a few too many goals for the liking of manager Jim Platt, and they were behind again when Dixon's deft header let in Colin Cram for Doncaster's second. A joy to play with was Cram's verdict on his new boss, and it rubbed off on him, the Scot supplying the cross from which John Schofield extended Doncaster's lead. Perhaps they were lulled into a false sense of security. 2 minutes later, Darlington showed commendable qualities that wouldn't have come amiss at a higher level, and Darren Roberts sent in Robbie Blake for his third goal of the campaign.
Action tonight, all battling for a money-spinning place in the second round of the Coca-Cola Cup. On paper, Darlington have a good chance of making progress after winning their home leg against Rotherham 1-0 with Robbie Blake's early goal. All our other teams are left.
Darlington were the only North East team to carry a lead from the first leg. At Rotherham, they repeated the 1-0 scoreline thanks to a brave diving header from Darren Roberts.
Great win at Feetham's. Darlington were up against third division leaders Wigan Athletic at Feetham's last night, but Jim Platt's side went in front on 32 minutes. Gary Twynem's run and shot deserved a goal, but Darren Roberts got the final touch to claim his 5th of the season. 1-0 at half-time. Wigan had strong penalty claims turned down by the referee before Michael Oliver increased the lead just after the hour. Sent clear by Robbie Blake, Oliver's first-time finish gave the keeper no chance. The Quakers made sure of the points 8 minutes from the end. Roberts with a terrific cross, laying the ball on a plate for Robbie Blake to make it 3-0. Darlington is still unbeaten at Feetham's this season. The Quakers keeper Paul Newell was denied a clean sheet 2 minutes into stoppage time. Colin Greenall scored for Wigan with the final touch of the match, 3-1 at the end.
Hereford arrived at Feetham's for part 1 of a double date in the North East. Darlington's Darren Roberts volleyed the only goal of the game. Hereford fall to the bottom of the Football League and now face Middlesbrough's International All-Stars in the Cup on Wednesday.
Single goal separated Darlington and Hereford, with the North East club winning through Darren Roberts just before the break to make it just 1 defeat in 8 games this season.
Darlington, of course, reached Wembley last season in the third division playoff final, their first ever trip to the Twin Towers. Tonight, Jim Platt's side will take part in another headline-making occasion, George Graham's first home match as manager of Leeds United. A big night out for the Quakers at Elland Road.
And Platt's Darlington were really in the spotlight this evening. The Quakers from Division 3 had a money-spinning tie against Leeds United. Tonight's first leg was Leeds boss George Graham's first home match since he took charge at Elland Road. Well, his new side started strongly this evening. Leeds took the lead on 14 minutes. Lee Sharp had passed a late fitness test before the match, and he set up Rod Wallace for the opening goal. The 5 past Paul Newell, and George Graham's side were in front. Darlington, though, hit back to silence the home fans and levelled the scores just before half-time. Michael Oliver's cross was punched out by Leeds keeper Nigel Martin, and the ball came back in. Darren Roberts prodded home his 7th goal of the season. 1 each at the break. Leeds went back in front, though, 4 minutes into the second half. A second goal for Wallace, this time set up by Ian Rush. Amazingly, Jim Platt's side still refused to accept defeat, and on 72 minutes, the Quakers made it 2-2. Substitute Robbie Painter had been on the pitch for less than 5 minutes. He was put through by Gary Twynem. Painter kept his cool to round Nigel Martin and slot the ball into an empty net. That's his first goal of the season. What an important one. 2-2 the final score at Elland Road. A tremendous night for Darlington. Jim Platt's team must really fancy their chances now in the second leg at Feetham's.
Well, Darlington almost pulled off one of the shock results of the first leg at Elland Road. They went behind, though, after a quarter of an hour. Rod Wallace's first goal since Valentine's Day, giving George Graham hopes of collecting his opening win. But the Quakers hit back 5 minutes before the break. Darren Roberts with his 7th goal since moving on a free from Chesterfield in the summer. Anthony Carr's providing the chance. Leeds regained their advantage soon into the restart. Rod Wallace grabbing his second of the night with a well-taken volley on the turn. Darlington weren't to be outdone, though, levelling for a second time on 73. Gary Twynem's pass sending substitute Robbie Painter clear, and the tie set up perfectly for the second leg at Feetham's next week. Leeds 2, Darlington 2.
For smiles at the Riverside, and of course everybody here at Feetham's is just as happy after their draw at Leeds last night. But Darlington manager Jim Platt hasn't seen the goals yet, so here they are. First strike went to Leeds United after 14 minutes last night. Lee Sharp to Rod Wallace, and he fired past Paul Newell to put George Graham's side in front. Darlington, though, hit back to silence the home fans and levelled the scores before half-time. Michael Oliver's cross was punched out by keeper Nigel Martin, but Anthony Carr's played the ball back in, and Darren Roberts claimed his 7th goal of the season. 1 each at the break. Leeds went back in front 4 minutes into the second half. A second goal for Wallace, this time set up by Ian Rush. Amazingly, Jim Platt's side still refused to accept defeat, though.
And on 72 minutes, the Quakers made it 2-2. Substitute Robbie Painter had been on the pitch for less than 5 minutes, and he kept his cool to round Nigel Martin and slot the ball into an empty net. That's Painter's first goal of the season, and what an important one. It's all square halfway through this second round tie, and Darlington's away goals could just make the difference in the second leg. Well, Jim Platt's with us now. Jim, I'm sure the players and the fans enjoyed themselves last night. What was it like for the manager?
Well, I enjoyed it as well. Of course, it was a great result for us, a great team performance, and I think everybody in Darlington can be proud of him.
George Graham's first match in charge at Ellen Road, the spotlight was really on, wasn't it?
Yeah, the spotlight was on him. We had nothing to lose. I didn't think we'd get a result, and we got a result, and it was great.
A step nearer Wembley. You were there last season. You fancied your chances in the second leg, do you?
Well, I think Leeds will probably still win, but now it's over 90 minutes, so anything can happen. We could be lucky on the night, and you never know.
I mean, to play them here at Feetham's and to be level at this stage is just fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, I would have accepted a 2-goal deficit, coming in and not getting disgraced. Now we have a little chance.
And a big crowd going to be here at Feetham's next Tuesday as well.
Yeah, it's a sellout. All the tickets went today, and everybody will be looking forward. I mean, if we play as well as we did last night, then it should be a good game.
You never know, Jim. Wembley, just a little bit step nearer, you might get there.
Yeah, but it's a long way away, I think, for us.
Well, thanks very much indeed for joining us, Jim. Of course, there was another...
Now, one set of supporters who were absolutely ecstatic last night were the Darlington fans, because their team came up with the performance of the night at Leeds in the second round of the Coca-Cola Cup. It was hardly the start that new Leeds manager George Graham was looking for in his first home game, but we'd sent a football show camera crew on the supporters club bus that left Feetham's, and what a great day out they had.
You keep your Ravanelli and you keep your Shearer. We've got Robbie Blake.
I think it'll be quite hard for Darlington, but I think that if they get an away goal, then they should do well for the home leg.
Everyone reckons Leeds are going to win, but I don't know, I think they'll have quite a hard job beating Darlow.
Well, I think we're going to give Leeds a run for the money. If we get the important away goal, we've got more chance at the home leg.
Absolutely amazing. It's the best performance I've ever seen from a Darlington side in my life, and I've followed them for the last 20 years, and I can't remember us ever playing a better game.
Oh, absolutely brilliant game. The boys played brilliant. And I thought after the first 20 minutes when Leeds were really on top of us, we outclassed them really. 14.
Darlington, of course, earned that great draw at Leeds last week, but they still only have 1 league point away from home. Bill Conway reacted first to secure the win for Carlisle. The match of the night is Darlington against Leeds United, with the tie all square after the first leg at Elland Road. Darlington came from behind twice to level the scores and deny George Graham a first home win in charge of Leeds United. Darren Roberts' goal brought it back to 1 each at half-time. And substitute Robbie Painter hit a second away goal for the Quakers to leave it 2-2 at the end last week. So it's all set up for a classic cup tie in the second leg at Feetham's this evening. Well, they've sold every one of the 6,500 tickets available for tonight's match. It's the biggest game Darlington have played at Feetham's in years, and Roger Thames joins us live from the ground to set the scene.
Hi Ian, yes, the crowd's already beginning to arrive here, and you join us just as the Leeds players walk out to have a look at this surface here. Certainly it's the big sort of atmosphere tonight, a real cup tie. They really do weight this in favour of the Premiership clubs. It's a seeded draw, it's over 2 legs, but Darlington's performance down at Ellen Road has made sure that we get a proper cup tie here tonight, all decided on the night, and I'm sure it's a game that manager Jim Platt is really looking forward to. Should be a great atmosphere, Jim.
Yeah, great night for everybody in Darlington. It's not very often to see a Premiership club, see Premiership players. They only see them on the box, so now they're seeing them live tonight.
I must say, you've been doing a cracking job over the last couple of days of playing things down and saying, oh, well, Leeds are expecting to win. Is that just good PR, is it?
No, we're going to beat them now. I can say it live because Leeds aren't listening to it. No, we'll have a go at them. Obviously, they are still favourites, but it's down to 90 minutes now, and if we play very, very well and they play very, very badly, we can win.
I think part of your tactics in trying to just keep everybody down is that after the performance at Ellen Road, everybody thinks that you now start as favourites.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting carried away, especially in Darlington here, because we went away from home, and we did do very well down there. They think if we get them back here, we can beat them, but it's not as simple as that, because they have got internationals in the team, and we have got no internationals.
Having said that, it was a terrific performance down there. You've got no need to be frightened at all, have you?
No, it was brilliant. But once a Premiership team has a look at you, they usually prepare themselves better for the second leg. So Leeds will be better prepared. But then we might be as well prepared also.
Having said that, they're not at the easiest of stages at the moment in the season. Leeds have obviously got some experienced players out and 1 or 2 of their own youngsters in. Do you think that even increases your chances a bit more?
Yeah, it helps us. I mean, if they had their full team out, they probably would have beat us 5 or 6 down there to start with, and this would have been just a useless exercise. But we have a chance. Obviously, it's only 11 against 11. But, I mean, Leeds should win. But you never know.
And George Graham's presence as well, it's still an opportunity for him to get his first win as the Leeds manager. Do you think he'll be an even more galvanising effect on them to stir them up?
He might not have a better chance of getting his first win, because they got beat at Coventry, they got beat at Newcastle. I don't know who they play this week, but they'll have a hard match. But we'll be making it difficult for them.
And you'll want to play your football as well, because that's the only way that Darlington really know how to play, isn't it?
Yeah, we won't be playing tight. Obviously, I wouldn't like them to score early on, because it would make it very difficult for us. But we'll be playing football, and hopefully our football will be good enough to get a result.
And what sort of tactics is it from the start, without giving too much away? Is initiative with Darlington? Do you expect to really grab the game?
I would like to think we'd go at them, but as I said, I wouldn't like to think that they would score an early goal, because it would make it very difficult for us if they did score an early goal.
I'm sure you'll give them a good fight anyway. Enjoy the occasion, Jim. You've certainly earned it. Best of luck. Now back to the studio and Ian.
Darlington went out of the competition at home to Leeds United. All square from the first leg. Jim Platt's side couldn't match their Premiership opponents at Feetham's. Roger Thames is the commentator.
Trying to get to it first and get it away perhaps, but still Leeds had the initiative. Lee Sharp knocked it in quickly. It's a goal, and it's Gray, is it? He's got it. Wallace getting congratulations as well. Harbour lifting it well forward, looking for Sharp. Sharp got there, but couldn't direct it goalwards. Falls for Hart, and he scored! Straight through the keeper.
2-0 to Leeds on the night. Darlington lose out 4-2 over the 2 legs.
Jim Platt's side had no indication of the nightmare that lay ahead when Gary Twynem's excellent run and cutback allowed Glenn Naylor to fire them in front at the Abbey Stadium last night. The disaster started after Anthony Cars gave away a penalty. Mika Hyde scored and his teammates seemed impressed by the yellow boots. It was getting worse by half-time. Paul Newell's poor goal kick fell perfectly for Tony Richards, and the Gaza lookalike held his nerve to put the home side ahead. The lively Richards was involved again as Cambridge went further ahead after the break, crossing well for Scott McLeish to steer home a header. Dave